to be, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't have as much control as I do. Like, realistically speaking, I feel like. But I don't know. I don't know a lot. I learned from a lot of fools.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't know. I see like Bradley Martin, all them, and I'm like, it'd be cool to have foreplay whatever on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but at the same time, I can make 4 point whatever and reels and get just as much, if not as many, exposure.
Yeah.
And it continues. But I don't know, bro. I just feel like those fools put themselves out there a lot. And I feel like you don't really need to do that.
You don't. And social media is changing too. I had just had this talk about a couple weeks ago before I started posting content. You know, I've only been personal training for about 2 years. And I was so nervous about putting some stuff up online and talking to people about stuff. And I have a homegirl that's out in Texas, and she's like a social media goddess. Like, anytime she comes up with a brand idea or new thing, boom, 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 she's out there and she reaches the people she needs to. So we had a little talk online, did a little Zoom call, and she was like, Nick, like the stuff you do in your life is dope already. Like, your life is so cool. Like, just document what you're doing. I said, she told me, we're past the age of like having to post all the perfect shit. Like, people kind of want to see the fuck ups. They want to see like the not quite perfect yet. They want to see the rise to stuff. So just record what you're doing, edit it down, put it up. Don't overthink it. Yeah. And so I was like, okay. And then that week after, I just started doing just that.
Just fucking
It's all about the progress and just talking to people about what's real life. And, you know, it's cool to see people like Bradley Martin and, you know, Sam, the dude out there doing the bodybuilding, whatnot, that, you know, these guys are on the come up and stuff, but there's something super authentic to seeing somebody that's like, it's not quite perfect, but you can tell they're like headed towards a goal. Yeah. And I think that's super cool.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's like my favorite thing, bro. Is that like, that's what I started doing too. That's what I realized when I was a kid, is I always seen, pardon me, I always seen those cookie cutter fitness. This is what I call it. Cookie cutter fitness. It's like, boom,
perfect
boom, boom,
physique, boom. And just like doing all the right moves and the shoulder raises, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I understand everybody has their own come up, but I feel like not everybody highlights that. I feel like a lot of people like get stuck to the same trend and stay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already popping, I already got this, like let's keep running that. I'm like, well, hold on a second, bro. Like, there's not one guy, I mean, besides the old school fools who have actually highlighted the rough, I'm up at 12 o'clock at night, bro. I'm cooking my fucking meals and I'm trying to make sales so I can make my day more smoother the next day.
Yeah.
And then it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm still prepping for a jump that I gotta go do 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. You know what I mean? So I'm like sitting there, like already up 24 hours, got to be up another 24 hours. So I'm like, bro, somebody really needs to highlight that aspect. And that's what I like to do, is highlight that aspect of fitness, because it's not all perfect, bro. It's not, like, there's times where I'm like sitting there, like not even conscious yet when I walk into the gym and I'm like, all right, bro, we got to go hit this. Yeah, we're here. We got to go get this. But I like to highlight that for my followers, because no one's perfect. In a perfect world, we'd all hit jumps, we'd all have millions, but like in a perfect world, people like to actually see the hardship.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes a perfect world, bro.
I like that.
Yeah.
So shit, just for the camera and just to let everybody know out there, because we're gonna throw this up online here in a day or so.
Got you.
You know, let's talk about that jump. You know, it was crazy, man. Like, we came into the gym over at ZPA in Calamasa, and you asked some ideas of some bar work you wanted to do in the big room, and some jumps you wanted to do. And towards the end, I was like, bro, you know, my idea was to see you jump this truck, and like, let's put these step ups there and whatnot. And you kind of like gauging it and aiming it. What was going on there,
bro? I'll tell you, like, right when we switched from the primary jump to your jump, I was like, all right, sweet. Because I remember you guys were like, you're gonna front flip the truck, and I was like, what? I can't even jump the truck, but yeah, sure, we'll do it. I was like, we'll do it. And I was feeling great that day, bro. I already had garlic cloves. I mean, and this is where I got to go back to what I said before, bro. I was literally at a family event in Big Bear that weekend, Labor Day weekend. And it broke my heart that I had to sacrifice, you know, being with my family to come down and do what I love to do. But, you know, the ultimate sacrifices make the best feelings. My whole family wanted me to be there, and I was glad that I showed up. But what was really going through my head when I stepped up to that jump wasn't about the boys or my family, and it should have been. And that's what I've always done it on. is the boys in my family. I was thinking of Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I kind of screwed up, bro. When I got my leg stuck, I was thinking about branding and what would the brand want me to do rather than what my family would want me to do.
And we talked about that. I remember I was like, come on, bro, get out of your head.
Yep.
You were like thinking about all these other things and filling up the head.
And that's what I was thinking was like, all right, what would this athlete do? How would this athlete land, or how would this athlete approach that jump? When in reality, I am that athlete. And because I was so distracted on being somebody else, I wasn't within my own presence.
Yeah.
And that's why I stay independent, because I do this solely for the people. That's what I love about it, bro.
Yeah.
That's where I get my jazz. And I would have cleared that had I been doing it for the right reason.
That's the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand too. The truck bed wasn't very wide. It wasn't that the jump was like hard innately. You know what I mean? No. It was what was going on in your head, the other things that you were thinking. And at that last moment, you put your leg down, and Brian in the back of his truck had that cage there, and you just caught it right in between. My gosh, man. And that was, did not think it would come into the video that it had happened. And then I had just shared with you as well right before we started this, is that I didn't think you'd post that up. You know, I saw Brian had footage. I was actually filming on the other side, and I had deleted it because I was like, oh, we just ate it. Like, it's a wrap for the
gone,
day. You know, like, let's make sure Josh is okay. Luckily, Brian saved the video.
Oh my God, I don't know how he did.
And then you decided what, the day or two after, that you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna post it up. Like,
bro, like I was sitting in urgent care, like on the bed, and I was like, well, I don't have enough time to do all these edits on this new video that we shoot on the primary jump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to make everything. I'm in urgent care. Like, I need to get home before I can't drive anymore. Like, I mean, and it was cool because all the people who were watching the video and everything like that, they were the people who first initially saw the video. Was the urgent care staff. There was probably about 8 of them who stopped what they were doing, came and watched the video immediately. They're like, bro, how are you walking right now? Like, I don't know. So I'm just sitting there, you know, like by myself in urgent care, you know, like scrolling through the media, you know, watching everyone have a good time. And I just kind of thought to myself, like, hey, I'm going to post this. I'm just going to post it and see what it does. Like, I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to see what it would do. And I really wanted to get something up that day. That was really what that was about, is I just wanted to get something out there to show that I was working on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened to be a beautiful accident. That's what I called it, because really everything was done accidentally. It wasn't like I was like, I'm going to hit it at this time, or I'm going to wait till these engagements show up for this. It was literally by chance.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the posting of the video I did based upon the reactions of the people inside of the building as well. I was like, okay, well, if they're going to react this way, well, let's see what it will do on Instagram. So I was like, let's take a chance here. Let's do it. I already knew.
How did that feel? Wanted to post it up, knowing that just went all bad.
I knew I was gonna get some bad backlash, but I didn't care. I've had so much backlash in my life. And when you have backlash from different parties in your life who are very close to you, you don't feel things anymore, if that makes sense. So backlash from the internet isn't shit to me. So I knew I was gonna get backlash, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna eat it. I don't care. I'm an athlete, bro. People are gonna say some stupid shit if I eat shit, so I'm gonna eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate it up, bro. There's some horrible things on there. People wish I died. People wish I didn't make it. People wish I didn't.
It's the fucking internet for you, right?
Yeah, it's the internet. But you know what? At the end of the day, bro, that was the best day of my fucking life. And whatever they say, whatever opinions they have, are not gonna take away from that moment, because those aren't those people who are in my shoes.
Yeah,
and that's how I kind of base it. Like, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm gonna hear some shit. If I walk out in the street, I'm gonna hear some shit anyway. So might as well deal with it right now. Let's get it. So I just posted it.
Yeah.
I mean, by chance, dude. It was all.
And at the end of the day, you know, we just talked about this as well. It could have been so much worse. Mm-hmm. Like right where your knee caught is probably the best situation, because any lower, any higher would have snapped your leg off.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been a full break, a bunch of tears. I mean, dude, you're pretty much recovered. And what was this, 2 months ago now?
Just about a month and a half. And
like 6-8 weeks ago.
Full clearance from surgeon, primary care doctor, physical therapist to actually get into my own training, lightly but responsibly. Which is crazy because, like you said, it only happened a month and a half ago, 2 months. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like in human history, that has never happened. On top of that,
And not in that way too.
nope.
And especially when you go back and you see the video and just how gnarly it was and the whiplash over and back, it just like, oh yeah, that dude lost his leg.
It's gone.
The thing's gone.
Something's gone.
Yeah.
Like it went against all human nature.
Yeah.
Against all.
But again, your mobility, your flexibility, your able-bodiedness to kind of come back for it and pull yourself out of it, like,
Bro, yeah.
it brought you completely out of it.
It's crazy to say that superhumans actually exist if you apply the right.
The body can be so resilient.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. If you take care of what you need to take care of, your body will take care of you. 100%.
And what are we looking at? Is it what, 50, 60 million views later?
Oh yeah. Probably in the 100 million, but there's a lot of platforms that I can't see it on. Facebook, for instance.
Oh yeah. This is just Instagram.
This is just Instagram.
Yeah.
We're looking at 50 mil.
Yeah.
That I can tell you 100%.
Yeah.
And there's probably more on Instagram that I'm not seeing. On my perspective, I'm only seeing it 8 different times.
Just from the repost and share, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And which is weird because a lot of people think you see it more from your perspective. I've only seen a little bit of.
Well, then Nelk Boys took it and they put it on their podcast. And so it's like, it's been taken, ripped, and put on other platforms for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And like, they're like I said, like, because of the severity of this injury, I'm not able to see it in different platforms because I'm canceled off Facebook for I don't know what reason. I don't know what beef Facebook has with me, but they have me canceled right now.
Really?
Yeah, to the point where
they're always the first.
Yeah, so like the video hit on Instagram while I was still canceled on Facebook, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, how do you do 50 mil in the Meta base but be canceled over here on the other part of the Meta platform?
It's always something you say or share or whatever.
Something, and it's weird, and it probably has to do with the amount of money that I made and that they're not getting a tax from that.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I've seen too, or that the company's upset with me because I've made money and not have told them. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there could be just that one person, but I mean,
right.
I doubt it. My people are 100%. Everybody I work with, personal. Anyways, TikTok is another platform. I couldn't run it on. I almost lost the entire platform. Almost canceled me completely. I posted. Yeah.
For what?
I posted the video 4 different times. They flagged it 4 different times and then threatened to cancel my account.
Would they say like self-harm or something like that?
Self-harm. It was gory, even though everything was.
There was no like mass amount of blood or anything.
No gore, no nothing. Everything's against the term. Everything is within the terms and conditions. And I don't know why they threatened to cancel me. So that video has only been on Instagram. I would love to release it out to other platforms, but they don't let me.
Yeah.
So I really have just let it to the people, and I'd rather it be that way because in reality, I can sit here and try to push this video as much as I can, but I'm going to be more frustrated within the push if I just don't let the people do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And I will lose everything at this point if I continue to push the video on my own.
And that's not worth it, yeah.
No, and that's not fair too, to be a high performance athlete, a professional athlete, to have a big error like that and not be able to highlight that because it's a part of my life, it's a part of my career, it's a part of my business. But you see all these other things on social media, between the OnlyFans or between politics or many other things, but they're accepted. That's okay. But somebody who's building themselves, somebody who's failing, somebody who's in the trenches doing the trench work,
right,
doesn't get seen. I don't think that's fair. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Because we
can thank Mark Zuckerberg for that one.
Yep. Bro, these platforms are meant to highlight our work and everything, but it's unfortunate that an athlete like me, I wouldn't say starves, but I do feel the difference within the industry, because a lot of things, like fitness wise, like a lot of stupid things, a lot of memey things, a lot of other things will actually get put out before my video will.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's strange.
So, and it just all has to go with the trends of the internet, but I've found that the social media platform doesn't like to highlight things like that. And I understand why. I mean, hey, you don't really need your kids seeing some kid lose his leg on a truck. I mean, yeah you got to look at the background.
There is far
athlete.
worse things out there, though.
There is, and I wish that social media had that understanding, but I have no control over that. I wish I did, but it'd be great, for younger kids and stuff like that to see a major fail like that, especially an athlete like me who's independent on his own, come back from something like that.
Exactly, and this was really cool too, as well as you've highlighted your recovery every week and shown, your doctor checkups and what's been going on, and I actually really appreciated that because that's just showing the time and energy it's taken away from your sport and what you've had to do to chill out and not do anything because you're like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna have to get surgery or where this is gonna go. Like, it could have gone real bad, and you kept everybody updated on that, and I think that's a big deal as well to show everybody how that's going.
Yeah, and what I love to do is hey, I'm a normal person. You can go do what I do every day, and that's what I love to highlight. You can go do what I did, and that's what I like to highlight, bro. Like, that's my favorite aspect is anybody can go through this and be able to overcome it because I can do it. I'm just the normal dude. I got a family, I got responsibilities, I got a personal life, but I'm still able to do everything that I need to do within my means.
Love that.
Yeah, and that's what I love to highlight, man, is you can go through these major fails and still make a great comeback within a different aspect. It doesn't even have to be fitness.
Right.
A lot of this injury, I'm so glad this injury happened, man, because I was so lost mentally.
We had a big talk about a week or so before that.
Yeah, bro. I was gone mentally. I was so gone mentally that I actually split on a vacation, didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm so gone mentally, I didn't even realize that I recovered an entire major injury. Didn't even notice it. Like, it was insane because I was just so focused on, that getting out of my head from that jump, getting out of that doubt, understanding who I am, what I need to do to get to that next level, how I need to be better at being independent, things like that. Whose relationships do I need to build who are going to help me progress more? Because in reality, like, you can't do it by yourself.
No.
Not, bro. Like, I was so gone mentally after that injury that I'm glad it happened because
that's why you got a team of people around you all the time when you do this stuff now.
All the time, bro. It has to be like that because the magnitude of these jumps are so big that I can't do it myself. And I'm so good at it that if I'm doing it by myself, I'm not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I have the greatest people surround me because they're able to pull out the things that I can't see. And I can trust them 100% on their views of that. And that's how this is. It's all done with love, bro. It's all made by love. And that's what I love about it.
Love that.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm glad it happened because it made me really sit back and wonder, like, hey, what am I gonna do in life? Like, I really want to do this all the time, but do I want to be a mental mess?
Right.
Do I really want to be making small errors because I'm so stuck up here all the time?
No way.
No, bro, it's not worth it.
Gotta overcome that.
Yeah, bro. So that's what it really took. It took a lot of sitting back, a lot of understanding, like, why I'm mentally apart and so far away from what I love. And honestly, like, recovering a knee injury was crazy because a lot of it was mental work.
Yeah.
A lot of it, bro. A lot of PTSD, a lot of things. Like, it blows my mind because it's like I said, you see me checking in and out with the knee injury. At the same time, I'm showing you guys, what I'm going through mentally too. Because body and mind go the same place. The same thing. Everything goes together. It's all one pathway. Gotta be intuitive. Connection is everything, bro. If I'm not here, I'm not here. So if I want to be able to jump good again, if I want to be able to go bigger, further, faster, be better, be harder to kill, I have to be free flowing up here. Have to be, bro. And that's what really, like, was my takeaway from this injury was my mental game. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, I might lose my career, I almost died. It was the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to bring more people around me who are great so we can do more and work harder and go farther.
Yep.
Because, like, I realized a lot within this video. The biggest thing I realized is, like, hey, Like I could do this with a lot of people around me, but I have to do it correctly, and I want to do that. And it's just crazy, bro. It's craziest thing because I've been through the rough, and I'd say like this is one of the biggest like eye-opening injuries was the mental game, bro. It wasn't even the physical aspect of anything; it was the mental game. Yeah, bro. Like, and it's crazy because we work together, and you see me. I'm there, I'm checked in up top. I'm like PTSD, depression, anxiety,
right?
Things that happen on and on and on, and I'm just like learning how to dial all that back and learning how to channel back into my workflow.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, bro, because even those small distractions take the biggest things away from you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like, as if your mind's not right, bro. It could be the game over.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was all that was.
You saw it. Day. You saw it that day.
The mind game, bro. Yep. Wasn't physical.
And you talked about it a couple times that day. You're like, gotta get out of my head. I gotta get out of my head.
Yep. And I think that's been my main goal, especially throughout this recovery, is getting my head straight, like getting back into the rotation of the plays, understanding what we're doing the plays for, understanding how we're doing the plays, where we're doing the plays at.
Yeah.
As to, the egotistical things that were going on that day. And I'll say egotistical things because, it was for...
Yeah, your ego comes up, that's everybody,
Yeah, bro.
The ego arises and sometimes it takes over.
Yeah, and it was like I was saying, I was... mentally, I was doing it for a brand, and in a way that was egotistical of me to do. And that's why I don't like to run that way. I like being independent. A lot of fools think independent is your ego is big, but I'll tell you what, being independent, your ego is not big. It is far from it. You don't have an ego if you're independent, or you can't. It's not there.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you've made it.
No, you never make it, bro. When you're independent, you never make it. You're always going for the next level, bro. Whether it's 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, a billion, you're always going to go for the next level. And that goes for people too, being independent. You always want to go for where you find the most love.
Yep.
And who surrounds you, and how many people surround you when you're doing it, and how big the energy is within the crowd. Like that's how I understand it. I'm like, bro, if we can show more and more and more and more love doing these jumps, and I want to keep doing them more and more.
Yeah.
Because it's for the people. Like, that's what's cool about it. Like, that's what I'm saying, why I gotta strip that ego part away from it.
Yeah. Where
I'm not doing it for brands or doing it to get sponsored or doing it for a payout, because I don't get paid for fitness. So that's why I like doing it for the people. It's solely based upon what we do within that moment, and that's what's cool about it. Like, it's really something where we just strap down and go with it.
So something I like to talk to everybody about, and I like to ask everybody a certain question when I come do this, is that what do you think is most important, body, mind, or spirit?
Body, mind, or spirit? Bro.
What takes most precedence for you?
Bro, like, honestly, I'm not there when I'm doing my training. It's not for me. If I do it for me, I train differently.
What about for life in general?
For life in general, like, as to like how I want to get to mine, or is mine?
Yeah, just life in general, and the overarching theme of living, the importance of something being more body, mind, or spirit.
Yes, that's a good question, bro, because in my shoes, everything that I surround myself is around people. So everything that I like to do is around people. So the way I like to build my mind, body, and spirit is being surrounded by good people. So if I can create better quality of work to bring more people around me who are good people, then that's what I want to do, because that's what fills my spirit. That's what makes my spirit happy.
I would say that's definitely spirit, because community right there, without community, we feel very alone.
Yeah. And like I've been alone my whole life, and the amount of joy, the amount of pride people have within finding what they love to do and me helping them find what they love to do, and the feeling of giving them guidance and reassurance, showing them, that this is hard and we can do it together. That's what makes my spirit happy. That's what makes me happy, bro. That's my love.
Yep.
And that's where I see me going further and further and further with things, is creating more and more and more opportunities for everybody around me to be more happier and happier and happier and happier. Because everything that I do essentially doesn't involve me. Yes, it involves me doing an act and a stunt, but there's a bigger picture to it. And that's what I like about it, bro.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, bro. Like, truly, I've never really set any of my fitness up for my own self, even my PRs. Like, when I was hitting my PRs in school, bro, like slapping 315 at 135 when you're 16, I was really out there doing it for other kids to be like, hey, I don't have to sit in class anymore. I could just go to the gym. I could go be sponsored. I don't have to be a varsity athlete. I could go do what he's doing. Go sling weight.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the basis of all that built up, was literally from small deadlifts when I was 16 all the way up into these jumps.
Yeah.
And that whole jump that I set up was literally for me and Brian to understand each other and to work better and to feel each other's energy. It was not even about the views that day. It was not about the content. It was not about the jump. Like, it was literally, I set that up literally for all of us to vibe, bro. And the craziest thing about it is that video hit. And that's why I'm like, I don't do this for brands. I don't do this for company. I don't do this for money. I do this for people, because that video was truly set for us, like, to understand each other.
Yep.
And that's my favorite part about it. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, bro, that video that I messed up on was not for views. It's not for a payday, bro. It was literally so me and my guys could fill each other out, and make sure that we could work together, and make sure that we can handle the pressure of each other.
Yeah.
And that was the beautiful part about it, is everything happened so perfectly and smoothly. And that's why I call it a beautiful accident.
Right.
Because it worked out the way it planned. Weirdly enough, I had something back in my head that day telling me, like, hey, bro, you're going to get injured. We should probably wash our bed. We should probably pick up our room. Yeah. Like, I have a sixth sense like that.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. So I was already prepped for injury. I didn't want to get injured, of course. Don't want to get injured.
Yeah. I mean, you were cool with everything else. And you had done a bunch of other tricks beforehand. Everything was fine.
Yeah, and like when we switched up the layout, and I was like, when we switched the layout, bro, I was like, sweet. This is my moment. I could actually show Nick how hard of a worker I am, because I've never shown anybody else the jumps like from a different party. And we hit that jump 8 times, bro. And you see me. I destroyed my leg on the 7th before I initially destroyed my leg.
Right.
Bro, and like, I'm that person where I will go toe to toe with what I have to do in order to show what I need to do. Even if it means I'm dying on the site, because that's who I am, bro.
Yep.
I die for the things I love.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah, bro. Like, and it's just, I'm glad that it worked out the way it did. Like, it's a beautiful accident. Like, I was able to highlight everything that we were planning that day. Like, I don't even think Brian had an idea that my whole motive was to get us all to work together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think he knew that. I think he just thought we were filming a jump that day.
Yeah.
I was like, in my head, I'm like, no, I want to see how we all orchestrate, how we all get together, because I want to do something for the community.
Worked out well.
It worked out great, bro. I really wanted to get the gym out there. I really wanted to get everybody like pinpointed.
Well, keep it up, man. I mean, the next one I know will be some big stuff, and there'll be a bunch more content coming, and I know you're throwing out a bunch of new ideas, so it'll be dope to see that come out.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful ones. We got big plans, bro. We got bigger jumps. Right now, we're going for the riskiest, most expensive. I don't even care, dude. I'm doing it for the homies. If you got any kind of vehicle, we'll jump it, bro. That's what we're about here, dude.
Right.
This is it, bro. This is what we do, lifestyle fitness.
That's right.
It's fun.
Dig it.
Dig it, bro. Good shit, yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Yep.
Thanks for talking, bro.
Of course, bro. Anytime, bro. Just hit me up. You know.